Hello and welcome to EUTV Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from Evangel University and around the region. I'm Kyer Warner.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out the latest happenings in all of professional sports. I'm Sarah Cummings, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. Evangel football was on the road with a great performance. They even had one player winning Player of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Great job on football.
Definitely going to talk about that here in the story a little bit later, but lots of good football to cover this last weekend.
Yeah, great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The Evangel men's golf team took 7th place in the Central Plains Invitational in Salina, Kansas last Thursday. Reagan Streck led the team by finishing 6th in the competitive field. Streck scored a 68, 2 below par, on his second round. At that same tournament, the women's golf team came in 4th overall, with Ashley White having the strongest outing, while tied for 4th in all-around play in the last tournament. The next golf tournament for the Valor is on Monday.
The Valor football team had an amazing all-around team effort last Saturday against Peru State to post their second shutout of the season. After the Valor defense held the Bobcats to only 223 yards of total offense and getting 2 interceptions, that allowed the Valor offense to put out a stunning performance with 335 yards of total offense and touchdowns from R.J. Wakely, Dylan Hester, Matt Allen, and Sammy Robinson. The Valor will head into their bye week looking to rest and recover before conference play begins. The Valor men's soccer finally broke their drought of scoreless games last Saturday against Culver Stockton, but ultimately lost in the end to a goal in the final minutes of the game that led to a win for the Wildcats. Throughout the game, the Valor outshot the Wildcats and was moving the ball offensively. Lucas Ayers performed noticeably well, along with Elias Larimore, who scored their only point off of a free kick. The Valor men will be looking to bounce back against Mid-American Nazarene October 4th in Olathe, Kansas.
Valor volleyball was caught in a close battle with Benedictine Friday night. The volleyball team traveled to Atchison, Kansas to face the 12-5 Benedictine Ravens. The teams went back and forth, alternating set wins for the first 4 sets. Tied at 2 wins each, the Ravens and the Valor went into a final, game-deciding 5th set. Evangel got out to an early 8-5 lead, but the Ravens fought back hard and took the 15-13 win. Evangel's Sydney Dunavant recorded her 1,000th career assist in the loss, and Leah Jackson led the team with a career-high 35 assists. On Friday, the Valor will play Grandview at home. On Saturday, the women's soccer team took on the Culver Stockton Wildcats. The game was tightly contested at the half, the Wildcats holding to just a 1-0 lead. But the scoring for Culver Stockton would continue in the second half as they took the victory 3-0 over Evangel. The offensive woes for the Valor remain as they record their 4th straight game without a goal. Saturday brings another conference matchup for the Valor as they host Grandview at 1 p.m.
Gotta say, I'm proud of the boys for coming back and getting that.
That was amazing. Another amazing defensive effort. I think 2 interceptions in that game. Mm-hmm. And you had Ryan Connor was that EU punter who won the Hart Special Teams Player of the Week. So a great performance from Ryan and the whole football team. That was awesome to see. Coming up next, I'll be here with a volleyball player to talk about the team.
And later, we'll look at some of the most significant college games from the weekend and what happened when Mahomes met Brady. We'll be right back.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
Welcome back. I'm here with EU volleyball player Riley Morrison. Thank you, Riley, for being with us here today.
Of course.
So starting off, just how's the season looking so far for the volleyball team?
It's looking good. We're 11-10. It's been a long season so far. We've been on the road a lot, which has come with some challenges, but the rest of the season's looking to be pretty good. We should win majority of our games, but it's looking pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you end up here at Evangel?
I'm actually from Scottsdale, Arizona, so it's a long, long way away from home. But I looked up on the internet one day, small Christian colleges. Evangel was the first one to pop up. I emailed coach and was like, hey, can I come on a visit? Came on a visit and fell in love and committed.
That's amazing. So far in this season, have there been any surprises that you guys have seen, any players that have really stood out?
One of our freshmen, Viviana Sanchez, she's from California. We didn't expect much from her, just haven't seen her play much. She came, she's a starter for us now. So we have 4 freshman starters.
Wow.
Which is a lot for a sports team to have that many, especially in college. But they're all doing so well, and they're making a really big impact on the team this year.
That's awesome. And what year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, so this is a pretty young team.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who would you say, do you have a veteran leaders, or is it really just kind of a young squad?
Yeah, so Tori Lowry is our senior. She's actually a 5th-year senior, so she kind of leads the way for us. And then both of our setters, one's a junior, Leah Jackson, and another one is a senior.
Awesome.
So.
Well, looking ahead, what does this next week look like in your matches?
We play Baker tonight, 7 away, and then we play Grandview on Friday and William Penn on Saturday.
Wow.
So we should win all 3, but
That's awesome.
it'll be a good week of competition.
Yeah. In your opinion, what are some of the toughest conference teams to play?
MNU this year really stuck out to us. They were really strong this year. They got a lot of transfers, a lot of European girls, which is super crazy, but they're much older. So they're going to be really good. And then Park, as always, is a really strong team.
Yeah, of course. As a player, I know that Coach Mary Whitehead just had her 500th career win. What was the team's response to that? What was that like?
It was really exciting. We surprised her, got 500 balloons, and
Wow.
took pictures with her, had everyone in the stands grab a piece of paper that had 500 on it, and her family surprised her, and it was like a 4.5-hour away game. So it was just a really cool experience to be able to celebrate her and all that she's done here.
That's really special. Where was that at, that win?
We played at Bethel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a favorite game so far in this season?
I think one of the best games was, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
It's so hard. We've played a bunch of ranked teams this year, so a lot of our losses are to top 1 to that 15 ranked team. We played Concordia, and they're from Nebraska, and they're a really strong team. They're ranked 10th in the nation. And I think that's a game that we kind of clicked. It was one of the first tournaments of the season, and since we're so young, it's kind of hard to get in the rhythm and learn each other's differences and similarities. So that was the first game that we all kind of came together, which was really cool.
Yeah, of course. And how has this season compared to your freshman season last year?
My freshman year, I had hip surgery, so I was out. I'm a medical redshirt. So it came with a bunch of challenges, kind of having surgery far away from home and not being able to be on the court my freshman year. It was just a lot. But this season's been great. There's been no complications, so
that's awesome.
It's been really
I'm
cool.
so happy to hear that. All right, well, thank you so much for being with us today, Riley. Best of luck in your upcoming games this season.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Coming up next, we'll look at some of the college games that we've got around and some of the NFL action from this weekend. So stay tuned.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
The Iowa Hawkeyes hosted the number 4 Michigan Wolverines on Saturday. Going into the fourth quarter, the Wolverines led 20-0. A Caleb Johnson 2-yard run got Iowa on the board to start the fourth quarter and make it a 20-7 game. Both teams would score again as Michigan comes out on top 27-14. The Wolverines running back Blake Corum rushed for 133 yards and a touchdown in the win.
Last Saturday, the Mizzou Tigers took on the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs, and even though Mizzou lost, they proved that rankings do not matter when it comes to SEC college football games. Mizzou had the lead over the Bulldogs for most of the game, with their quarterback Brady Cook passing for 192 yards and a touchdown, and their defense causing many 3-and-outs for the Bulldogs. But in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, the Bulldogs managed to bounce back with a field goal and a game-winning first down to take home the win, 26-22. The Chiefs and the Buccaneers played against each other in a thrilling Super Bowl rematch game last Sunday, where both Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady put on a brilliant show. The Chiefs' offense was booming during all 4 quarters, bringing in 417 yards of total offense, with only 1 interception thrown to the Bucs' Sean Murphy-Bunting. The Bucs played good through the air, but not as much on the ground, with only 3 yards of total rushing. In the end, after many touchdowns, the Chiefs brought home the win, 41-31 over the Bucs.
The 2-1 Packers hosted the 1-2 Patriots on Sunday. The Patriots' third-string quarterback, rookie Bailey Zapp, entered the game after Brian Hoyer exited in the first quarter due to a head injury. The Patriots went into halftime with a 10-7 lead over the Packers. In the third quarter, Bailey Zapp recorded his first career touchdown pass to make it a 17-14 game. A field goal in the third by Green Bay and a touchdown for both teams in the fourth sent this game into overtime, tied 24-24. Green Bay got the ball to start overtime, but a quick 3-and-out gave the Patriots the ball. The New England was also unable to get a first down and punted after 3 plays as well. In their second overtime possession, the Packers drove down the field and ended the game with a 31-yard field goal by Mason Crosby. Green Bay bested New England 27-24. Aaron Rodgers threw for 251 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception in the win.
Okay, now I know they say Tom Brady's the GOAT, but you got to admit, Patrick Mahomes, he's the reason they won that game. That was a big win for the Chiefs this last week.
It's disappointing for the Buccaneers when defense is supposed to be their thing right now, and to give up 41 points. It's the Chiefs, but that's still 41 points.
When you got a guy like Patrick, it's hard to stop that, honestly. And then he has many weapons offensively and defensively as well.
And for Tom Brady, not having a great defensive outing and only 3 rushing yards in the game, that's pretty tough to go up against. But it was an exciting game to watch.
Big impact.
That's awesome. I was also looking over at some of those MLB games. You've got the Cardinals clinched the division. The Milwaukee Brewers were second in the division in the race for a little bit, but last night they got eliminated with the Phillies win. So you've got St. Louis in that playoffs winning the Central Division. Last week was an emotional game as we had Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, Adam Wainwright all taken out at the same time, exiting their final home game, regular season home game together. So some exciting stuff going on in baseball.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
When we come back, we'll have the EUTV Sports Player of the Week.
We'll also have your upcoming Evangel games this week. We'll be right back.
my kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
It's time now for the EUTV Sports Player of the Week.
This week's EUTV Sports Player of the Week is Bradley Myers of the football team. Myers is a 5'11" linebacker from Lee Summit, Missouri. Myers led the team in tackles against Peru State with 13, including 1 tackle for loss. Myers' effort against Peru State helped Evangel to dominate on defense, winning the game 28-0. Congratulations to Bradley Myers.
That's impressive. Holding a college team to a scoreless game, so to shut out the other team was a great job. So
yeah, it takes
congratulations.
A lot. It really does.
Yeah, it's a great job by the defense and a great leadership effort from Bradley Myers. That's awesome. And now we'll go to the upcoming games of the week.
The men's and women's soccer will be playing Saturday, October 8th. The women will be playing at 1 p.m. versus Grandview, and the men will be playing at 3:30 p.m. versus Grandview.
Evangel football looks for another win against Missouri Valley. That's going to be a home game on Saturday, October 8th.
Volleyball will be playing Friday, October 7th at 7 p.m. versus Grandview, and then on Saturday, October 8th, they'll be playing at 1 p.m. versus William Penn.
Men's and women's cross country has the Seminole Valley Stampede in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That's again on Saturday, October 8th.
And for men's and women's golf, they will be having the Evangel Fall Invite Monday, October 10th through the 11th at Payne Stewart Golf Course. Don't want to miss it. Go Evangel Valor.
Good luck to all those teams playing. We've got a lot of games on Saturday, so it's an action-packed weekend for Evangel.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Sarah Cummings.
And I'm Kyer Warner. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.
See you next time.